Hi, Alan Stratton from Woodturning. There's a story about this bowl. It is actually made from golden chain. At least the tree was called that by my neighbor when she was going to cut it down. They cut it down. I was going to learn how to core with this wood. So I tried it and I got really beat up with it. That's when I looked up the wood and found out what it was like. Golden chain in Europe is called Laburnum and is also an ebony substitute. It is very hard, very dense, very toxic in any formed animals, but makes a beautiful bowl. If you look at those rich colors, the tree wasn't that big, so I did get some sapwood over here, which actually I think just serves to accentuate the mellow brown here through the middle. So it's a beautiful wood, got a long story. Neighbor cut down the tree, beautiful tree, now a beautiful bowl. Let's turn it.
This wood was rough turned very quickly after it was cut, about 9 years ago, then sealed. While originally round, it is now about 1/2 inch longer with the end grain than the side grain. This is a typical pattern. In that time, its weight has gone from 1,459 grams to 490 grams, a 34% weight loss due to moisture loss. This is also typical of many different woods. I've seen a lot of different schemes for dealing with the distortion from drying. I even have a 24-inch sanding disc for this purpose. However, I now pursue a simple strategy. The bottom is rarely significantly distorted, and I have the original divot from the live center. So why not simply press the bowl with the inside against the closed chuck jaws and centered with the live center in the original divot. Yes, the inside could be marred from the chuck jaws. However, I plan to remove wood from this area as I reduce the bowl to its final wall thickness. First task is to trim the tenon now that it is dry. With that done, I can move on to more of the exterior since I'm ready for a switch. If I can, I want to trim more of the exterior bottom now since it is more accessible. I also need to trim the rim by about 1/2 inch, again due to warpage. Now I have flipped and remounted the bowl onto the chuck. Since there is always an access shift when remounting, I am shear cutting with my bowl gouge to trim it a little more. I can also go for final shape. I like a little flare at the rim. Since I can, I have the live center for additional security. A rubber stopper protects the inside against the point marring it. To clean up the very bottom, I prefer using a heavy bowl scraper. Other people use a bowl gouge with a steep grind. My preference is the bowl scraper. There are some cracks radiating from the pith area. I will fill them with CA, then a thorough sanding. Time to finish the bottom, but first measure the bottom thickness to see how much more I need to remove. The thickness just outside the tenon seems about right and allows room for a concave recess. With cold jaws, the manufacturer insists on a lower speed, so cutting goes more slowly in this hard, dense wood. I start with my bowl gouge. I'm finishing off with my skew as a scraper. It works great to delineate the bottom ring and to round off the bottom convex curve. Then sand. Finally, a bath in walnut oil shows that all the hard work and long sanding is worth it. This wood was very hard and dense, but the color is fantastic. The contrast between sapwood and heartwood highlights the heartwood. I'm happy my Oregon neighbor called me when they cut it down. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe on my website, and tell your friends. I appreciate your comments and questions. Every week I make a new wood turning video and add it to my website. Please wear your full face shield for safety anytime the lathe is running. I'll see you next week with another wood turning video.